was young Mobibia Aquaba, Edoba, Mega TV and platform way, as well. Yes, support more than a senior move. No, so for na obey den ampa. I was here, Adam Emmy the pa. Yes, or more than a senior. Now, so for na bed day. You were joined the money Mahama Crama. Special prosecutor, a day at one in Safredo. Say, Ombrado Shana Simu. Na esi den na wo yaw Ernest Kumi wo de unyampi wesi so na be pese me yampi abusua ensem wo ho na ensem ne se Koforidua High Court issue bench warrants on last week na ensem we na omo ekaye
called that sometime last week we moved an application to have Ernest Yaw Kumi convicted and sentenced to prison for his willful disobedience to the orders of a court of competent jurisdiction, that's the High Court of the Republic of Ghana. You would also recall that this case has been on since the 31st of December 2024. And the case essentially has been that Ernest Yaw Kumi, that's our case, that he was not validly elected. We followed up with a motion for interim injunction, which motion was granted for 10 days. Now, on the day that the Ernest Yaw Kumi was served with the said order, he filed an application to have it set aside. Now, the court heard the application and on the 6th of January 2025 dismissed it, and thereby insisting that he should not hold himself out as the member of parliament elect. He willfully disobeyed the orders of the court and went straight to parliament and availed himself for him to be sworn in as member of parliament. And he has since then been calling himself out as the member of parliament. We are a country of rules. We decided then to petition the court pursuant and consistent with the rules of court, which is under 50 of CI 47. That he had willfully disobeyed the orders of the court. Now the case was moved, the motion was moved, and it was slated for today for ruling. Today the court, you would notice, you were all in court, that before the court gave his ruling, lawyer Gary Nimaku was on his feet and wanted to be heard, that he had filed some processes and thereby sought to stay the hands of the court from delivering his ruling. The court said, I don't recognize you. And I must say this, it is a bit shocking. And we lawyers don't usually critique one another or each other. I mean, because we have been trained not to. But I'm a bit surprised that Mr. Gary Nimaku would rise in open court in a contempt case, which we all know, we've all been trained and are aware that contempt proceedings are different from, because the standard of proof is even different. It has a different case number.
Yes, so after so muka say we no. Na owura no Ernest Kumi, Akwatia, so-called member of parliament, ebu court na nimtia, esan ekotena parliament. Na the moment ote sa bench warrant ni so boy issue na how we see escape to parliament.
They were gathered together, Pilate said unto them,
weird that I really want to you. Barabbas, for Jesus which is called Christ.
Ayasemu na busia honum ena owura wei sorry say oni de sa de obedwane akwa Supreme Court na odi okofile appeal bi e Supreme Court na okoye no, in fact Supreme Court ensem omo kan no na chese ano hye ni na ne say yes eno na eda screen ni no omo so omo engrante no that audience no, because wabu Koforidua High Court animtia enti e wo se omo ye den on your so oni omo ka bia no oni omo ka It is CCM no kese Akwatia member of parliament, our friend who member of parliament, in fact, candidate, Supreme Court, I ignore no what audience. So mint na Asɛm so. Now we hear the second part of the story no Mami we gifty or what remains. Yes, some kind Mami we na NSA, that is National Service Authority. A hon samba buburu ja no be a candidate. Ebusia ene hopes ye obi adoya babontin ochiremu a saa enyema na akoso wo national service ho no enyema me ne nko a no yo to da Ghana for munja isa nsem bebrebe no ma me ne nkofo bi ne eye adwuma na nkofo no enso eka ho bi sei na hopes nso kan ewo ni atin
Eya me ya ewo mu ni se ye gya ma nkrofo a like ese se wo mo face prosecution anya no ekeka nsem hunu ewo krom ha sei serious o
nkrofo a eso mo face prosecution
eso mo face wo mo invite wo mo interrogate wo mo no mo charge wo mo ebi ni nanabi
why dey
National Service is here no what dem say nanabi no ye deputy executive secretary
yeah
ma me nchira oni etie ho mo sorry a na mo de gift to wari ato ho na mo asopa na mo publishing pictures sa asifu say wono
kwa na
and necessary kani nyina no mene na manfo anya omuti edidim no mo nam ho just like that ma me nchira say ne omo yi no ese schools no onkola no complete school schools no submit master list
yeah
almost submitting master list in India. Deputy Director Deployment.
Okay.
A generate pins.
Okay.
At the Maomo. Omuria na ba Deputy Executive Director Operations. Nanabi was Deputy Executive Director Operations.
I see.
Edru honumwa no ama first approval stage.
Okay.
Every honumwa na executive director nankasa asa a generate the actual pins no
interesting
eti director deployment aye no approval by deputy executive director operations that fe aba executive director no hono no aye oye wi then NSPS register wo mu wi no a students go with monthly evaluations.
Yes, every month be
among various districts.
Yes, that is somewhere around 20th.
Yes.
15th, between 15th to 17th of every month be a normal call.
Where we are, district managers will upload the forms.
Yes.
Eba regional directors bema approval.
Yes.
Naba then auditors will do compliance.
Okay.
When we are compliance in we are then executive director. Ebema the final approval. When we are director accounts and usage, no matter any payment.
I see.
In this process, a final gift to our what will be? One was deputy executive director administration.
Oh, okay.
It is a process when you know a muhifa men kase wonka ho. One dey mean to mean kasa. Because ejuma na or more
collective job.
A teamwork.
Yeah, sure.
Na teamwork na omo ye no so no obi na ma approval no mo ma approval no mo ja omo ho ana mo di omo asie ana obi ono no ti ni ba bia won need approval process yi mu no wodo na mo publish no ya ye unfair to this lady na omo ma approval se ni na mo ho no anya no kasa o anya no kasa see the government aban grab be court. Can you believe this?
Now, can
you imagine that? Can you imagine that? The first executive director, Yusuf. What you free one on the course post? What in Namobia Modi? Nanabi was deputy. Yes. Nanabi Namobia Modi. Near Obesha Nanabi and nine. Eyo sonoba onu na NI before me say o mun change the no grand come back BNI o mun reverse the no o BNI na power wo mu na NI bi there na kwa SM bank visa who can not be grow
no watch no no invite no
yes
O make us accountant mo no mba.
Debbie, I don't mind invite you no. Say almost gift.
But the some case invitation, some case ya chewo.
Oh no. Every river. The executive director Nankasa Dinamo, the one who gives final approval.
Yeah.
What Dinamo?
So we can talk about Mustafa Yusuf,
Asibe.
Yes,
and then no deputy Nanabi. All these three people, they are working free.
Yeah, that's true.
They are working free.
And we are talking about 4.5 billion US dollars.
800,000. Me say, ni omokika keke na 800,000 good. Names are we muko for free parliament na there. Look, auditors, they should do as good. Sir, or more auditor na wo ho no na no na hwe compliance no. Ono ese omoche no.
That I agree.
Oh, ese omoche no.
That I agree with you.
Number 2, banks na sika no kono.
Yes.
Den no mutimi kokoji sika no bank. Sa bank manager ne nkrofo no mo ye you ese ache wo mo. Because you see, I don't know say why anya ne sa. Now pick politician no go problem none of that. Because another politician but the same person compliance onim say ne no ye fa kakra nka ho na ye nya de say bank we ye de kwa ye won nkrofo ho mbe hwa to ho ma ye ne akwakom ese se sam nkrofo ni na ache wo mo.
I see.
Because you just say it means of problem no.
Yeah.
Ebra bia no me meka. They say politicians sika yes o mo adi no. Se wo call civil servants mu akwa ne ekoso ho no mu a more than times 10. More than times 10. No, uba who civil servant or ba adwuma taxi na o dey ba no. Goso. Etoda we secret just o say pia taxi no. Kodifie ne kokohwe kasa wa pake ho.
Ene japade awaye.
Ne twa japade awaye. Bishia ma bibi no a revenue collector. Oba adwuma bia taxi. Ana ekoko hia wo eye biase. Enti onu kra wa hume. Because me dru hoja no. Enti oye na wo kọ no. Hu so akwakọ bienika. BMW. Awurade. Ka na fe.
BMW.
Eje ma bi ni. Ana mi di America nko. Oh, na ti say wasi eyo na ma hu o. Ka de didi nko anu okoye. Ma mi kai de wasi hwe. Na odi gas o gufie.
One of the cars.
Sa ma me na asi private clinic omorani.
Wow. Just because of a revenue collector.
Wonu anso so esa wo guest house. Wo rani.
Hey.
Na ketu ai say.
Wow. I see.
Ese so no. What we say there oba adwuma mu awoye. Boko.
Yeah.
Na we ana omo yes omo be check here kakra. And need 10 days near. Omo for just 2 weeks to check certain thing. Ni apa mame no. That time onu kwasi ke fa ni sem that 2 weeks no 10 you can say 2 billion.
Wow.
2 billion.
2 billion
just, yes, OCDs just 2 weeks. Eti property ben won't be nye. Politician no ti was MC no sika say no anya. Wo hu ne je no. That so e basisi a ni atam ni nyina dey dia so politician no. Eti sa ayiwe dey I am telling you aban ewo adwuma ye.
Yeah, sure.
Ni santi hwe NPP for ebo pa say omo hide omo number na omo afre. Hope say money no wo adwuma mu no sana aban ka bi wo no ho ni ade on say hope say wanju aban ka da o sa omo say na ka bi anom say ade afre hope say na nga say omo suru da me ka bi obefre ma bi sa asem no
Yamfa credit ni Emma Onye TV omo enomo boa ya iya say video we bi na unim another story in so magada MPP defeat how MPP for elusu election we or say chairman sabo so no ye ankane so member of parliament or also the leader of government business twemu that is majority leader abusia owura we aba abontene ade nsembi aba betuga wako enhira FM na nadwantoa the show so na nsema owura na eka de ano hye yenkotie sa nsani bi yenkobra koba beto aso
some party no various levels police station for the area coordinators constituency executives regional executives and national executives no asa de ni edi nya na Afi ekwan fa so nso yi parliamentary candidates any presidential candidates. The edikan a amanfo kan ho asem pa no. It also be will say the general economic hardship in the country during the period under review. Say ahochira na ba o man no mu. So me kai 2017 eto aba man anado abaye president. Or the home be kire was otumfo. Na obaye no otumfo da no ka asem bi. O ka say o say ekom enibre ene ma Ghana for to abetia John Mahama
kom ne abufu
ene ma Ghana for to abetia John Mahama na wabai se saade no eba ekom ne abufu no ba sa abufu no ekom ne abufu no ebehwe so to abetia abufu ado abai enia sa ahochira no o man no enso ka ho ene ma yeto aba ne di nkugu.
Okay.
It also means, and as I told you, or say the perception of corruption tag. The perception of corruption tag. Say, Ketasiani Proya and Nankofo Kahwasem. Say, no crescent no cray. Or say, sir, Nipadi Omini Buye. Say, yes, NPP for no Ketasiani Proye Abba, Abba, come. No, say the leadership style of President Nanado Dankwa, which people perceived as single-minded and intransigent. Say na minu na otiano. Me fa asene na all kana. Eye enkrofo sa na mo omo anisu no na omo dwene. O say no eka ho. O say the perception that government was controlled by the family of President Akufo-Addo. Say as a buy no enkrofo no mo keka say Akufo-Addo oni na busuafo nko na agi bibia aboso. Sa asem no party no anasa abana ntimi enye mfiri ho. The ekudi amanfo bi adwenim. So no say no ka ho bi. And the perception that the president single-handedly controlled the party. Say ebinum say as a party no ankasa no president de ahye ne motuam. Open no ye. What you say? Ebinum adwenim no. Na sa asem no so ebeto ho no so as aban no any party no entimi anka ho asem man mfi nkrofo trim. Ye eno so affected abato no nyansu so abato no. And will say the perception that the candidate was a shadow of the president. So we're the vice president. In the say Akufo-Addo person wadeni ye bia no. And as be a twabana Emmanuel Ababe ye
Akufo-Addo reincarnate.
Chapter 3. So the was nipa ne bi enso eno ka ho bi. And will say ibinum so no mo ka say president vice president oye Mamprusi na Mamprusi for ne kusasi for ntoka eno oboko no ne ho frofore mu.
Okay,
because enre yi na obi na meti obi o radio so na kusasi for ne Mamprusi for nyantoka oboko a asante for the fair hobby. That person unim the dynamics woman. Because onim onimwa and I say onim and all cano. Ebetwabano. There were kusasi elders in Penifo Amba Ashantrujin ebedi be 10 days. Moving from baby settlements amuji se kusasi for one. No mo kasa asem na kire wo mo. Uko such a from plains. Even Yeni Abekwai constituency. They were there. And it affected
Seba umia Mamprusi no ampe kusasi for us.
Nti na omukọ ye no amanfo ka asem na kire wo mu. Afei ebinum se ebi ka se aban no neglected Ashanti region e development team.
Okay,
especially infrastructure, roads, any other. Can you imagine say omoko Mampong na Mampong for Mampong ne offensive north. Mampong for the omoka say Mampong mo complain say mo hunu he mo hwe Mampong group akwan aban na ye. Omzo penia no kasa ma mo so Mampong de dweta akonya. Na yen asante your political capital, your administrative capital, your traditional capital, any Kumasi. So I'm born when you Kumasi when you're master.
Yeah.
And Omoki can so I mean interchange. What you say? Indeed, some people felt, say, as a bani yini efi asante eso. Then party no anka seven munsem. Say almost there was a disconnect between the original party and the regional party and the constituency parties. And the ensem no also have been say conflicts. Tabantawa ne wuku no mu a yamfe ani ensi so.
O ma anka semu.
Party no anka semu, constituency parties no anka semu, any region eho so ntawantawa wo ho a yamfe ani ensi so. Na ebinum omo kire mu say from 2016 abato no mu and the sansem no sorry. By a two abana ye winning ye nyani bumuntino. Ye nyani bumuntino. As in for any free so. And in soon as one about 2020. 2020 no. Afi yabano so the margin of victory no from almost 1 million no it by 500,000. About 50%. 2021 no a season ye tea committee. Say ye him. Committee no emusem kra no findings na amabonti. Me as the majority leader when I even requested for a copy of the findings no, there were 2 committees. Report no menya bi.
Wa wenya bi.
Nansa ne afei na report no. Ashanti region report no eba ye na nansa ne obi akofa sa report na beto social media. What you say? Say yenhwe ayi findings no. Now see, the good thing is that the OSA report no mononia Ashanti team look for echo here no amokano. It's about the same thing. What does it mean? That's 4 years ago. What does it mean? Let's just say report about discuss any who and the more was it true. Maybe I be dri, maybe I can medusa.
Papa, mami busa. Edrume bi na Ghana for Kasai. It was so loud to the extent that ultimately say Ghana for ka e komodi and na kufu ado ne kasa yi kwabre for kasa businessmen e kasa. It was very clear. Nyɛ di bibi ase na Ghana for mi uma no. It was so clear, but the response na eba ni nyina yet say ente say de mo ka no. Enti I don't know how to ask. Didn't answer NPP 4 years surprise BBC yes. Because it was clear say they are now on money based on data and research. In fact, the current CDD report was that we Ghana for 10 say the country is heading towards the wrong direction. It was clear. So why is MPP so surprised about this defeat?
Yes, yes, in which I wouldn't say nature.
Oh,
you see, let's face it. You see, since 1992, Abambia team breaking 18.
Right.
So that in itself, now a big hurdle. Then we had economic hardships. I can was So now a BNC sad COVID-19 and its effect near Nubida. If you are saying Nubida, a fair Benny Mars and Kpay Moana, Russia and Ukraine to console by. People as though Russia and Ukraine to Canadian news was one saying, it was also be Bremain. You remember? Young Quara never or Mamma almost catch Panomo school. What him say? Steel products, iron rods, Nema, na usual Memuno. Close to 60% if Ukraine and Hebrei. And then iron rods, Nebo. Fertilizer, I usual Memuno. Over 30% if Ukraine and Eba. Omodiano, a very cheap and so. A summer you use in Ghana, wheat and wheat products you use in Ghana has about 50% if Ukraine and an Eba. Oh, maybe a pound on the size of a good. All these things, no, not account.
But they were saying, say yes, they agree, say no, we are saying
yes.
But leader now bet me a car, some money panel. Science say unisika, dada mamisika. But when dada bekasa atra abofrano. Abofrano nim say ni papa niska, but at least or try BB. But I said that papa na no tesono. And then the man na nature who is defending no. So can say okay, Russia, Ukraine na say for, but once ye BB na response na bano ye BB for fro.
Asa ye kwani muni esuade. see sometimes any pan so with me complacent, especially so if you say the mammy also kind of appreciate it power. Oh, na fe any pan so be when nipa etwa nipa ho hia no so come because maybe nipa nyina na be ko ha o be kamu no kre a kire papa no.
But we were told say na Akufo the experience.
And I'm saying nipa nyina be ko ho
onim or share so obey a different government from John Mahama. In fact, in 2016 manifesto no ne forward no say Ghanaians are in crisis. Ghana is in crisis. A crisis which is created and sustained by the Mahama-led government, mismanagement, corruption, incompetence. Into onono ba obey different government. No enye te say ono ani bottom nemum Ghana food nyina. So this was somebody in him so he experienced. In fact, Nkofo Kraka says na Akufo-Addo enwinia. One be president and Kebeguswa su say adentini ama na Akufo-Addo. The other thing Nkofo kan ho asem is the arrogance pusher. And I think I say no dodo na chese I say mo kind diplomacy. But Ghana for feel say na Akufo-Addo no ya hantai no ye je ne kasa ne nye oba akwa abiri ne nsem o kan kura no mpanyifo bi ewo entimi ankasa papa de o kan ye die eni kwan so kasa. The other thing was the napo factor and also mu defending no nsem o kan ye. The other thing was the regional minister Honorable Simon Semensa also was a factor in Ashanti region where they felt say the num kasa nye ni posture as a minister enye. These things were clear, people said it, and yet Yenyankofo mu defend ye. So I ask again, why are you surprised that you lost?
Oh, so make us say see ekwe ni muni esuade. Me ye ba many candidate no Ashanti region, like extremely Ashanti region in particular. Ye nante kakra. There was something that I saw. Say Beumia since 1992 ye ba Fourth Republic. Many presidential candidates, almost all of them abba nine yanante kakra. I saw this man as a man at a different level. The Yako campaign, Papa non Kasayemu. The way he breaks things down, constituency be obeko na all kasa. Constituency be a be no 3 engagements. One only clergy and the business community ekushia. Christopher Nkramofo one more business ono mushia. One na nama him fukushia. Asana yaba a rally grounds. Na onam constituency no obekukuru bi so no si nanti bi adwom chachi amanfo e kasa kakra kire wo mansa na yakoye sa 3 major engagements no pebi beko bi a wo kasa he speaks for about 1 hour ni vision ni swadi no de mankrofo o kan nyina me hu bi da 3 hours constituency bia na constituency de bia so ne e 3 constituencies. What it meant was that he was speaking for 9 hours
a day.
If you hana me pitino, why me mobo? Because be hana you be no tree, no kono namna or kasa. You could see the honesty and sincerity in him, the humility in him. What you say? But then na me ka say me ni obia ye nante ma presidential candidate bia nyesa. Beko baby no presidential candidate bekasa we kasa ya arrange ho we kasa be do no so ni bia is about the 6 person. It speaks about 5 minutes 10 minutes near move. This was a different campaign strategy because no who say ade na emoding. But minia ye nam so ana ye ko if you come say anopa o se o ko bekwai ka kane no o ko no amanfo be hu se papa eti bus munye yi convoy hwihwi bia onam nke bia euphoria eni gia nkrofo tese etwemu amode die America fikro no be hia kwa no pagya yensa keke no. This time it was not there.
Munama
it was not there.
NPP flag ba umi but said the no mo ye kofo
ne. So that we in a real battle. Intermediate na me who signals and say ade no edin.
So yemfa credit no Emma Insure TV Insure FM mo no mo bo aye genya sense we bi ade beso mo no kwasɛm a ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ MPP defeat no muni anyɛyɛ ɛna yɛbɛka arrogance ka ho corruption ka ho mo kan sɛ economic mismanagement fund embezzlement, a lot of things contributed to your defeat. But it is as if say Maseti committee and meeting say papa is it Dambotri or down is going to be corrected. Papa Dambotri down. But up to now, if you although some member team see and I say, but ye who say a jebi so so the chairmanship issue no, and this is how a shall say a day it may arise. It won't come once and more chairman some no I escalate the area must about one thing. Abeka say, oh, same. MPP defeat me now. You and I know very well say how almost mystery and not or say chairman sabons who can't say this you'll be the personality or his serious now the idea say contribution bay and a Dr. Muhammad Bonia, a demand and I don't quite fado. I want to bring you a football bank and on the man I want for. Did he come out and talk Ghanaians? And to whom so presidential ambition, this say yeah, Papa Julius Debra presidential ambition. That's a BB Kotima. I want this a baby now a mabontia mameka one and not that's not Chinabino or standing the Ghana for Titiana and Wine. Nti yɛwura Dr. Muhammad Bono ɔno ankasa na wadi gini grave ɛna ɛnɛ watom nti sɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ bonsu ne MPP foɔ no bi ma wɔdɔ ɔmo ano Bono ayɛ si ɛyɛ dɛn ɛna ɔyi so yɛ ɛyɛ dɛn ɛna Ghana fo tete ano ne nyinaa yɛ economic mismanagement ɛne ntorɔ bi a wodi yɛ ɛno ɛna ɛbi wi nsa abusua hanom ɛyɛ negative mɛsɛ ɔso bɛ subscribe to the channel no na wa like body na wa share na foforɔ ne bi ahwɛ mɛma meeting ba from United States of America US abutima mu saa nso mɛma me yɛ bi wɔ UK and obi bia ahwɛ me pɛtɛ ni message sɛ do comment bɛto mfɛfɛɛfɛ na wa like dwumadie wi na wa share na foforɔ ne bi ahwɛ hanom ɛyɛ number one authentic channel a yɛbɛma wo in-depth analysis videos pictures na ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde mu abia yɛde bɛsom mo yɛnkopɔn ɛhyɛ bibia media no bɛgama kɔ bibia bye bye.